Hello friends, welcome to Inside Saigon Initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about Election Commission of India orders. These orders are regarding prevention of children in participating election campaign. So now we will try to understand the video components and then we will discuss in detail regarding this particular issue. The issue name is no use of children in poll campaigns. Obviously, it is going to affect children right to education and it also violates the Child Labour Act. So first we are going to discuss about context, that is why it is in news. Then ECI instructions issued. So what are the instructions? Okay, in which way children cannot be used? Okay, every one of us we should know because we are the ones should protect the children rights. Next, meaning of the child labor. Here we are going to discuss about the international standard, that is the definition given by ILO, International Labour Organization. That one we will see. By the way, tell me students, which article of the fundamental right is prohibiting the child labor? Then we will discuss about constitutional provisions and reasons behind high amount of child labor in India. In India, child labor is very prevalent according to INO statistics as well. Then steps taken by India to eliminate child labor. So far, what kind of steps taken by government of India? We are going to discuss that one as well. Now first, what is this issue? This issue is all about political parties, they are misusing children. And they are using children in their campaigns as a part of distributing the pamphlets and sticking posters and for giving slogans as well. In this process, the Child Labour Act is getting violated and the right to education is getting violated as well. Sometimes these election campaigns involves a lot of violence as well that may affect children. So to prevent all these kind of unnecessary issues, ECI given a clear order regarding the prohibition of children in any election related matters. Now, so what is your take on this? So what is your opinion about this ECI orders? Next, so Election Commission of India issued directions to whom? To political parties. You know that students, that is every political party has to register with Election Commission of India. Okay, each and every party. Otherwise, that party will be, so it would not be allowed to participate in elections. And they given directions to political parties to stop, to refrain from using children in election campaign. Here you have to understand children means generally we include 6 to 14 years of age because they are going to be covered under Article 21A. They are going to cover under Article 21A and they are going to cover under Article 45, then Article 51A(k). So this belongs to fundamental duty. Next, ECI instruction, prohibition of children participation in election related activities. Now let's see what kind of activities. Activities such as rallies, sloganeering, distribution of posters, pamphlets and some other activities such as they should not involve in holding a child in their arms or carrying a child in election rally vehicle, and children should not use to create a kind of indirect support to political parties as well, such as singing poems through children and spoken words, display of insignia, that means symbols of political parties, and political party candidates exhibiting ideology of political party like wearing any clothing related to that particular party ideology. All these are not allowed. Okay, of course. So what are the legal compliances? All political parties, according to ECI order, political parties as well as their candidates, they should require to follow the compliance. Okay, they have to comply with which law? Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986. Of course, this was amended in 2016. According to this amendment, previously children were allowed to do work in non-hazardous activities, but after the amendment, even children are not allowed to work in non-hazardous activities as well. Okay, hazardous and non-hazardous, even adolescents, that is between 14 to 18, they should not allowed to work in dangerous hazardous activities as well. So those provisions we added through amendment in 2016. Now let's see some of the remarks given by Bombay High Court in one particular judgment. First we will try to understand what is the judgment is all about. Chetan Ramlal Butara versus the state of Maharashtra. In this, Bombay High Court stressed that so political parties, they should not allow participation of minor children in any kind of election related activities. Okay, so exception is if children present near to their parents or guardians, and these are both children and guardian, if they are very proximate to any political party candidates who is not involved in election campaign, then that is not going to be a offense. Okay, so if the children accompanied by parent or guardian, if they present near any candidate, any political candidate who is not involving in election campaign, then that is not going to be an offense. Now let's see the child labor. Okay, according to ILO, any work that deprives child right to education, right to life, and which deprives children dignity and physical and mental development, all these kind of activities comes under the ambit of child labor. So ILO is saying that child labor which increases the vicious cycle of poverty, because child denied the education, because of that they will keep on involved in this vicious circle of poverty. That is the observation of ILO. In the Indian Constitution as well, Article 24 prevents the child labor. You know that Article 24 comes under the prohibition of like child labor and like prevention of exploitation as well, in one of the fundamental rights out of the 6. Article 23 and Article 24, these are like protection against exploitation. Next, prevalence of child labor in India. Let's see some statistics. According to ILO, India is having one of the highest number of child labor in entire South Asia. It is very disgraceful. Around child labor who are present between the 5 to 17 age range. In this range, India is having the highest number of child laborers in South Asia. In rural area, child labor is high compared to urban area. In rural area, it stands at 13.9%, whereas in urban area, it stands at 4.7%. And majority of the child labor in rural area, they are involved in agricultural activities obviously. And the next major occupation is 20% in service sector, such as like hotels and traveling, okay, the motor shops, bike mechanics, these are some of the service sector. And 10% involved in industry, mainly firecracker industry. Tell me students, firecracker industry, which city in India is very popular for firecrackers, okay, manufacturing of firecrackers? According to census, 2011 census, around 1 crore of children, that means around 4% of the total children population, they involved in marginal work. Reasons behind child labor. Generally, the most significant reason is poverty. The second one is lack of awareness. These are the two main reasons. Okay, poverty and lack of social security. Of course, poverty and lack of social security, these are very closely related. Lack of quality education and ineffective law implementation is also one part, and caste structure. But nowadays, compared to caste structure, mainly poverty, because even parents belong to lower caste also, they would like to send their children to quality education permitting their economic status. So we have to target the poverty. Poverty is the root cause of like evil. Next, India's commitment to child labor. So what kind of initiative taken by union government? Let's see. India resolves to eliminate child labor by 2025, and according to that, Government of India, the commitment made by the country is to ratify the ILO convention. We will discuss that ILO convention at the end of this video, and India put a target that according to SDG goal number 8, sub goal 7, so they are going to end the child labor by 2025. This is their target. The Child Labor Prohibition Regulation Act 1986, it amended 2016, already I told you. According to the 2016 Act, children not allowed even in non-hazardous activity also, and adolescents also, they should not allowed to work even in hazardous activities. So it covered adolescents as well. Child Labor Prohibition Regulation Amendment Act 2017, that means 2016 amendment, and to implement that act, regulations were made, and these regulations are going to be implemented by state governments and district authorities. They are responsible to implement these regulations. Then pencil, what is it stands for? First let's see. platform for effective enforcement for no child labor platform. So this is the platform created to prevent child labor. Let's see. It is to ensure effective enforcement of the provisions related to Child Labor Act and the smooth implementation of National Child Labor Project and separate online portal Pencil has been launched. So this is developed mainly for the smooth implementation of National Child Labor Project and enforcement of the Child Labor Act. For these twin objectives, we launched this Pencil. And regarding this, like National Child Labor Project, this scheme was launched in 1988. It covers around rehabilitation of working children in 12 child labor endemic districts. Okay, across India, Government of India identified 12 districts. They are mainly suffering from the child labor. Okay, they are going to be targeted according to this program. Under this, children in the age group of 9 to 14 years, they will be withdrawn from work and then they will put into the NCLP special training program so that the child labor can be tackled. Factories Act of 1948. It prohibits the employment of children under the age of 14 years old in factories. And along with the prohibition of child labor, we are trying to encourage the child education as well. We all know that through 86th Constitution Amendment Act 2002, we added Article 21A. Article 21A promotes the child education between the age of 6 to 14 years. Along with that, it also amended Article 45 and it added Article 51A(k). Next, ratification of ILO conventions. Like I said earlier, so India along with efforts within our country, India is respecting the international convention related to child labor and we ratified couple of ILO conventions related to child labor. They are Convention number 138, which is on the minimum age of employment, and Convention 182, which is on the worst form of the child labor. These two conventions were adopted by India in 2017. So this is regarding the child labor and usage of children in political campaign. Let's see yesterday's video question. Consider the following statements. The President of India is empowered by the Constitution of India to make regulations specifying the matters on which it is not necessary, of course. Okay, so President can make regulations that in which condition, in which situations he need not to consider UPSC advice. The reason for non-acceptance of this UPSC advice have to be laid before each house of the parliament. Okay, reasons have to be laid before each house of the parliament. Right, both 1 and 2. Today's question. The Chief Election Commissioner of India holds office for a period of CEC 6 years during the pleasure of the President, for 6 years or till the age of 65 years, whichever earlier, and the fourth statement, 5 years or till the age of 60 years, whichever the earlier. Mains question. Why is child labor so prevalent in India? Discuss what are the institutional measures in place to prevent the exploitation of children. This is today's mains question. So as we reach to the end of this video, in this video, we discussed mainly about the ECA orders regarding prohibition of child use in election. Okay, so we discussed about in which kind of activities they were prohibited and what are the various safeguards available to children in India, as well as ILO conventions also we discussed. So this is the detailed information regarding the prohibition of children in usage of election campaign. I hope this video adds some value to your preparation. Thanks for watching our channel. Have a great day. Jai Hind.